That middle seat comes down as a cup holder if you like.
Yes, that would be great.
And then there's a cell phone charging back. So we're heading to O'Hare.
Yes. Now it's like great. On this fast.
This came out of nowhere, but I'll tell you, it's impossible to predict the weather in Chicago unless you have something planned that weekend. Then it's going to rain for sure.
I have been here for 4 days now.
4 days, okay.
I saw extreme heat.
Yes.
I saw pleasant weather.
Yes.
I saw smoke, of course, for 2 days. Yeah.
Yes.
And then now I'm seeing rain.
Yeah, there you go. That's you got the Chicago weather coming for you. That's our life. And, that's our life. Smoke, not so much, but the rain and everything else. Yeah, that's how it is. What brought you to Chicago?
I work. They want me to move to Chicago.
They want you to move to Chicago?
Yes, sir.
Tell them from where?
From Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's like, what do you think of Austin? Were you in Austin? Do you like it out there?
Honestly, have you been?
You haven't even been?
No, I was asking you, have you ever been?
Oh, have I been to Austin?
Yes.
Not Austin, but I've been to like Dallas, Fort Worth, Fort Hood, San Antonio.
Yeah. Okay.
I just haven't been to, I just never went to Austin. And I was looking at it, but then it just blew up.
Yeah.
And everything you started becoming the new Silicon Valley. And I grew up in Silicon Valley. So I'm like,
oh, no way, okay.
Yeah, so I grew up, born and raised in Northern California, Silicon Valley, lived out there again in 2015. And then Austin did the same thing. And I saw all the housing prices do the same thing.
They become like really jacked up. But
yeah.
I really enjoy Austin. And I love my time in Austin.
Okay.
It hasn't been the longest. I was in New York before this, but for 2 years I've been in Austin.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people tell me that Austin has LA energy, like a baby LA or whatever.
A lot of people came from LA to there. A lot of people went from LA to there.
And they have the hills, they have the lake, they have food, music, good culture.
Okay.
Most importantly, I think they have nice weather.
Yeah.
Weather which allows you to go outside and be outdoors for the majority of the year.
Yes. You don't have that in Chicago. As a Californian, I can tell you that right now. I'm getting as much sun as I can because it's like 9 months where you can't go outside.
9 months of summer?
9 months.
Like no sun, you said?
I mean, it's like, let me see, how do I see? Like, first you get the summer. Summer ends around August. Mm-hmm. And then you'll get some heat and some cold until about, like, it snows on Halloween.
Okay.
And then Halloween, it's just going to be like cold, gross, miserable until I think summer started here in like mid-June. Like it was freezing cold until like May.
Until May.
May or April. It was cold. And there have been times I want to say 3 years ago, it snowed in June. In June. And then like 2 weeks later, it was 65, 70. It's just the weather here. I'm completely with you. I like being outside. I'm brown. Actually, this is Chicago. I'm brown. So I'm Mexican. So I'm very brown. The sun here it's not strong and it's not consistent enough to have a tan.
Yeah, that's definitely one part which kind of like pulls me back.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was looking at apartments, I still need to find my lease.
Mm-hmm.
There were two options that I still have. One is right at the bank of River North. There's a place called WolfPoint East.
Yeah, I know exactly one.
You know that place?
Oh yeah, I've dated a few girls that live in those. Right, it's the condos high rise right there on the corner of like the WolfPoint East.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like infrastructure. Yeah, I know exactly what's great little condos, nice little area. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is very beautiful. Yeah. The amenities and everything, of course, nice, but it's more about the glass walls.
Yeah.
So I think like you get most of the sunlight most of the time.
You do.
Right. Second option that I have is at OldTown Park.
OldTown, okay.
Yeah, which is a lot of people who are Chicago natives or have been living over here for a long time. They say like it's a nice neighborhood and there's so much.
Oh yeah.
All of that jazz. So.
Where would your work be?
Magnificent Mile.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, so you're right here. You want to be close. Yeah, OldTown and East Point, you could practically walk to work from both of those.
OldTown and East Point.
Yeah, because right, if you're Magnificent Mile, you're right over here. So,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you're right.
East Point, it's like a 20 minutes bus ride.
Yeah.
Which is still not bad, I think. and that is 17, 18 minutes of a walk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because East Point is right over there. Magnificent Mile is the next. This one back here was
exactly.
Yeah, so you're really not far at all. I'm surprised it says 18-minute walk. It honestly seems like it's 10. But okay,
no.
Yeah.
So this is 20 minutes of a bus
Yeah.
from WolfPoint for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
OldTown, that is 18 minutes of a walk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah, but see, and this is the other thing. If those are your forms of transportation, when it's -2, you're going to be walking around the bus. Right? So
you don't want to walk at all, right?
You don't want to go. I've had to do that. I've had to catch a bus and my car wasn't working. I had to catch a bus at like -5, and I was like, this is not cool.
Yeah. Well, that is modes of transport, honestly.
Yeah.
It has to be public. It has to be either, you just get super close to work, or,
Oh, yeah. Because it is Chicago where you are. It's very walkable. It's very walkable, and there's a lot of public transport, so you wouldn't even want a car. And if you had a car, they're going to charge you $500 a month to park it, $600 a month to park it in this area. So,
which is too much.
Yeah, which is just too much. So it's just like, no thanks on the car. If you're right by Magnificent Mile, but you could potentially live in a different part of Chicago if you're looking for a different experience, right? So like here, this is very much a like people work here, they live here. There's certain parts like the River North area that will have restaurants and have nightlife. This whole area is going to shut down at 5 p.m. Everybody's just going to leave because it's all the federal buildings and all that stuff, banking, everything. They just leave. Starting at 3 p.m. People just start leaving. They come in at 4 minutes.
But it's a tourist spot, right?
And then it becomes, as you see here, a very touristy spot on Saturdays and Sunday. Magnificent Mile's the same thing. You're going to see someone from literally everywhere on Earth, which is why I like this job. I talk to people from all over planet Earth, which is what I like. And so you'll see that, and that's also really cool. But like you said, it's kind of touristy. You could try and look into, because right here, straight up line, you're right by the lake. Yeah. And there's a ton of places that are maybe a little quieter, a little less touristy, but that are also going to have a lot of cool stuff that you're going to be able to do on the weekends you're going to want to go to. As far as here, this is just tourist. You're going to spend every weekend getting out of this area. You're going to, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Whereas opposed to, you could find a place where maybe you like the neighborhood, you like what's around, and you're like, oh, Saturday, Sunday, I'm here doing something I like. And that's something I would recommend, and you can look even not that far from where you are, but like Belmont, let's see here. Yeah. Boys Town, Lakeshore, Edgewater, which is where I live. I love Edgewater. And it's 15 minutes to downtown if you're driving.
I see.
It's the same. So it's like, you don't have to be right. And the rents are probably about half the price. Because, if you're GoldCoast, OldTown, that's money. Those things you're paying, what, like $4,000 for a one-bedroom apartment?
Yeah. No, they are expensive.
Yeah, so you could get a one-bedroom apartment for $1,800 in Edgewater, and it's a condo. It's 2 blocks from the beach.
Yeah.
And you can go right there. Also, I mean, I'm hoping, I don't know if you're single, but like Loyola College is right there in Edgewater. So there's a lot of college girls hanging out when it's nice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to say no to.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what I like about it. Plus, on top of that, there's just a lot more nightlife, a lot more socially like stuff to do.
Like that.
Yeah, and that kind of fits a little more. Yeah, because here it's truly work, tourism. Go do something. Yeah.
I was yesterday, like last night, I was at GoldCoast. I think we went to Gordon's Steakhouse or something. Very nice, of course, but at the same time, it's surprisingly there are a lot of young people.
Yes.
In Gold Coast area too, hanging out all the time.
Yes.
And one of the apartment buildings that I'm planning to move, OldTown Park. My friend, he lives there. He's 46. He's single, and he moved out because it was just way too young of a crowd for him. I was like, what?
What?
Like, how are people affording? He's like, dude, I'm sold that like their parents are supporting them.
Yes.
Or there's something going on, because even I don't understand like how 20 something is getting a $4,000 one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, or a $10,000 two-bedroom. Yeah, and I'll tell you, this is what I tell people: GoldCoast and OldTown is where daddy pays the rent, and daddy is either their father or their daddy. You know what I mean? So that's really it over there. And so you're right. You're going to see a lot of young people, but it's like they're there because money doesn't matter to them. They don't care. They don't care about their job. They're going to be up until 3 a.m. having a party because they're not paying anything. They don't have to work 9 to 5. So that I can imagine your friend is probably like, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to be around all these young people.
I should actually drop him a message. This is perfect timing.
Yeah, but are you going to come back and look more, or you have to make a decision?
I have to make a decision.
Gosh,
I think I have all the information that I need. And I think, so the contract that I have, or at least the conversation that I've had with my company is that I'm here for 1 year.
1 year, okay.
Yeah. And just because the whole headquarters is over here, and I got to meet the people, all of that jazz.
I understand. And so you're going to kind of help them get established, and then you can go?
Yes, back and go to New York.
New York,
so,
sure.
And New York is where I was earlier, and I have my friends, so I'm very much fine going over there.
Sure. Yeah. And you don't mind the cold. That's good. Like you can survive New York weather.
Exactly. Yeah. I know it's going to be worse than New York, but I guess I have definitely experienced that.
Yeah, but the social aspect, I completely understand what you're talking about.
It's better.
Yeah. If you have friends in New York that you know, right here in Chicago, you're going to have to make friends. You're going to have to go online dating and do all that stuff and try and meet people, and which just gets more and more, So it's like, okay, it's harder to do. And like I said, if you're in Gold Coast, they're gonna check your wallet before they check anything else.
So, yeah, that's not fun. But at the same time, I'm fine with that too. If I'm being honest, I would honestly, the idea would be I'm 32 now.
Yeah, okay.
And I've done a lot of fair share of just messing around, around, going on dates.
Yeah. You're ready for the settle. You're ready for the let's
now
figure it
I want
out.
someone who's also doing something for herself.
Yeah.
Maybe she has a job. She doesn't have to beat up bread, whatever person.
Yeah, but just enough to get yourself.
Do something.
And, yes.
Feel inspired every single day. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that OldTown. A lot of people have told me that this is a neighborhood where there's a lot of cafes and bars, and people do actually hang out in the neighborhood a lot.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm banking on, and same. It's just because it's 1 year. I want to be kind of close to the office.
Yeah.
My manager lives in GoldCoast,
Mm-hmm.
and another coworker, I think he lives in Bucktown.
Okay. Oh yeah. So you're right there. Yeah. Okay. So there's people you can know. And it is from where we were, that's River North. You're a little further. This is West Randolph here. Mm-hmm. Same thing. A lot of young career people are right here in West Town. Google headquarters was here for a little while. McDonald's headquarters is over there. Okay. So there was a lot of people that were established. They had messed around in their 20s. They got their career really going now in their 30s, and they're kind of here. Exactly. Figuring the next steps out for themselves.
Yeah, people did tell me that this is a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
But the commute just becomes a little bit iffy in the sense that I think I have to switch L's to get there, to get to my work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's no direct L because I live in some apartment on the West Loop side.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, okay. Yeah, switching the L at that morning, it can be a hassle. But if it's only a year, you're just trying to figure it out, then it'll be, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. Yeah, 32. Gosh, to be 32 again.
I'll let you know, brother.
Yeah, you know what? I'm only 41. I actually just turned 41 2 weeks last month. So it's okay. So 41. I'm still. But the thing is, I'm 41. I feel 16. I still feel young. I was so my story. I was actually crippled for 7 years.
Oh, wait.
Started at 33.
Okay.
I couldn't walk. I woke up one day and I couldn't feel anything from my belly button to my toes. Just woke up and the doctor still couldn't figure it out. I went all over California, Chicago, all over the place. Kairos, physical therapy, disc decompression therapy, checking the neurology, checking all that stuff. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. For 7 years, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. There's crazy. This one amazing, she's a chiropractor, but she does a lot of physiology and movement and all that stuff. And she was able to get me to where I could start feeling again and I could start moving a little better. And then from that, I taught myself how to walk in November last year. November last year is when I fixed it. And so ever since then, I'm feeling like I'm coming to life again, but better than I've ever felt. I feel now better than I did in my 20s, and I'm 41. So I'm like, you know, I'm 32. I was pretty miserable. I'm not gonna lie. I was also going through not a divorce, but like I just broke up with the mother of my kid, and custody battle started that just finished. So 8 years I spent crippled and doing a custody battle. So I'm over here like 41. I'm like ready to be living life again. You know, I want to get out there, not settle down.
Yeah, no, I like that's such a turnaround and like a good way to
right,
exactly. Life.
Yeah, but it's like, and that's how life is. So like at 32, yeah, it's like, you know, you're getting established, you're getting stuff figured out. It's one of those, like, where was I at 33? So when I'm not doing this, I'm a cloud infrastructure engineer.
Okay.
And so this is when I was living in Silicon Valley. That's where I went numb. I was in San Jose. And so I had just really started establishing myself as like a senior engineer. And thank God, I was able to do a job that I could do remote, right? So I've been remote since 2017. I've been working from home since 2017. And then COVID happened. And then all the jobs went remote. And then it was like, I was LinkedIn, right? It says what I do. I was getting hit up constantly by people being like, hey, we need to move to the cloud. We need off-prem. We need to be set up because COVID is happening. Nobody's coming in. We need virtual computers that people can log into from home. So I just started making crazy money. It's like now I just bought my second house because from all that money left over on COVID.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, cool. And so I'm lucky. I got very, very lucky that I was able to capitalize. Because what else could I do? I wasn't walking. I wasn't going anywhere. Might as well work 3 or 4 different contracts at a time. Right.
That's great.
Yeah. So it worked out really well. But so now I'm 41 and settling down. It's like the least on my mind. My daughter's 13 and she's bored with me. She doesn't want to hang out with me. She doesn't want to talk to me. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go make some new daughters, I guess. Round 2 over here, you know. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
but it's
like definitely is like your round 2 in so many ways.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. And now you're like much wiser. You have more or less either done the responsibilities that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Or you're like, fuck it, it's too late to get into responsibilities.
Yeah, and I'm so established in myself. I'm really just like, I know what I'm capable of. I know that I can be truly knocked to the ground and get back up and be okay. I know that I can lose it all. I lost my kids, lost the house that we had, lost all those, and get it back and be fine. Like I'm very aware of who I am now, and it's like, and there's also Carl Jung. Carl Jung said that life starts at 40. Life actually starts at 40. You do all this stuff, and then 40, you're like, oh, now I'm me. But your back starts hurting at 42. So good luck. You're gonna get both of those. You start falling apart, but you're also like, I'm better than ever. And this is why I was talking to my friend. He's 46 and he's got back problems and all that stuff. And I'm just like, dude, you gotta take care of yourself. Me, I'm vitamins, water. I exercise every morning. I have my own gym in my house. I work out every day. Right. And I told him, I was like, 40 is the new 25 if you take care of yourself. Sure. If you do the stuff you're supposed to, drink, hydrate, eat well, don't treat yourself like garbage, you're gonna feel great. And so that's where I'm at. Like I feel great really at 40. And so we'll see what happens. But yeah, you know, I'll tell you, there's a lot of nice ladies in Chicago. You definitely be able to find one. There's some great ones out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, before even coming over here, I put my location on Hinge, Chicago.
Nice.
So
yeah,
kind of worked out a little bit. Not that I met anyone,
but you kind of see the crowds, see who's around, see what there's a lot going on Hinge. Oh yeah.
But it's, at the same time, I think it's a little bit of a big city energy vibes.
Yes.
Meaning, because you have a lot of girls, a
Yeah.
lot of girls have a lot of boys. Like they have a lot of options too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it becomes a little bit difficult to settle down.
Yes, it does. That's a great point with the big city life. You're right. A lot of eyes, the way the brain works. If there's options, it goes to this, goes to that.
Like I was talking to this girl, good conversations.
Yeah.
And then I asked her like, all right, cool, conversations are good. I was like, all right, cool. What are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
So she responded. She's like, hey, tomorrow's a boat day, whatever.
Boat day.
I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. So tonight I'm actually going to the spot. If you want to come, join me for a drink.
Yeah.
She's like, no way. That's only 1 block away from me.
Okay.
And I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, great, cool.
Works. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's go
on.
on.
Like a big plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, like an hour after, then she texted me. She's like, hey, sorry, I'm just seeing this now, and I'm in my pajamas on my couch. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you have like 5 more guys lined up on your chat. Like, you're not the only one. Like, I'm not the only one.
Sure.
that's what happens.
Yeah, but even then, it probably was like I'm still. She probably was. That was true, but there is also probably 10 guys, and that I mean I feel like that's just kind of the cycle.
Yeah.
Like, and we act like that wasn't the case. Like when humans are responsible for their own marriage, and it's not like their parents arranging it and figuring it out for them, but like dating and courting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's always been the case. It's always been one woman has multiple suitors. That's literally always happened. And then,
I see your point.
Yeah, and then guys have to compete. That's just been, and like we can even go further than that, and like look at the human animal, and like look at humans as animals, and then look at other animal mating, and it's like most females have like 4 or 5 or 6 different guys going on at once. It's just mating. That's something people do. So I kind of don't. I'm not that worried about it, but also I'm pretty great, so I'm not worried about competition.
Yeah, I don't know. Like every single time, I feel like girls are very, what do you call it? Like as much as I enjoy my time without girls too.
Yeah,
right.
For
like
sure.
I really enjoy it with boys. You hang out, you go out, but what do you do with the boys? Like once you have, I don't know, if you're watching a game or something, sure, you grab a beer, sure. After that, you're all looking for girls, right?
Yes, right, exactly.
So, yeah.
Isn't it so funny? Oh, like hanging out with guys always come looking for chicks. Come get some chicks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Either you're thinking of like, hey, where's the chick? Or like, dude, how do we make money? How do we make money?
How do we make money to get chicks? How do we get chicks to come? How do we get rich?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you have chicks and you're like, dude, I don't know, your mind wanted to actually accomplish this thing that you wanted a chick.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know, I feel like it's not the most fun to be around them all the time.
You're not wrong. Yeah. There's, I think a lot of our growing up, society has been telling us life, marriage, family, kids, house, career, marriage, family, kids, house, career. That's just what we're like told. And then you go do it and you're like, well, 51% of marriages end in divorce. So what are we doing? Chicks are great until you got to start paying child support. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're great until you got to start cutting those checks.
That's not fun. How much does the child support get? Is it based on your income?
It's based on your income.
Oh.
It's based on your income. So if you're making $240K, you're paying, I'm paying about $1,400 a month.
And court decides that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
if you don't pay it, you go to jail.
She's making the same money then?
No, she's not making a penny. That's why it's a lot worse. Because if she's making money too, then that's great. But this was a gold digger. As she left me, I broke up with her. After I broke up with her, 6 months later, she was married to a guy 60 years old.
Okay.
So
she's married now.
To this guy.
And you still have to pay.
Because we have a child. Yeah, we have a child. So and even though he has tons of money, he was an electrician in the 90s and just sold a house for $1 million and like bought another one for $700,000. He's got money. They got money.
Right.
It doesn't matter. She doesn't have income. The court doesn't care about her husband's income. It cares about her income, and she doesn't have income. She doesn't work. She's a stay-at-home mom.
But you're allowed to see your mom, or you're allowed to see your daughter.
Yeah. You get like rights and visitations. And
Right.
It's called parenting time. So it's like how much? But it's like, to me, honestly, the whole cycle. I just spent 7 years in court, 8 years in court, just about. And it's like, why am I being treated like a criminal? Why am I being judged? Why are people like that? You have to show all this stuff. It's like being a father is a right. Yeah. We have a right to life. That's a right. Why is a court interfering in all of this stuff?
So the court, why did you have to go to the court anyway? Like, because she was not like letting you visit her?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. And then honestly, she lied in California and said that I was trying to kill her and our kids.
Oh.
And sent the cops to my work on Valentine's Day to give me a restraining order.
Wow.
And then it's just been, and then once you do that in court, it's uphill battle for 8 years, uphill battle. And that's what it was. But it was like, there's no criminal record. You have no criminal of any kind. It's been 8 years. I've done everything the court did. It's like, why am I having to still go through hoops? And it's like, and they don't do it, but $84,000 in court costs. $84,000 to attorneys. On top of all the temporary child support, on top of the other child support. That's why they care. That's what this system is to just get money out. And so, and it's, in America, it's this whole contract to get married. Like, I tell you to avoid it. If you can avoid it, avoid it.
A lot of married friends have been telling me that, one, you necessarily don't have to get married.
Yeah.
Maybe twice before you get right? And then second is if you do, make a prenup. Like, it's not a unsexy or unromantic thing. It's just more practical thing.
Yeah, and if they say I don't want one, then you say bye, because marriage is not forever. Nothing is forever. Period. It's just not. Well, they can say whatever they want, but it's just the statistics are what they are. Yeah. Marriage does not last that long. So now we have to do this thing, and if she doesn't want to do it, bye.
Yeah.
Bye. That's it. And that's the thing. And so the whole idea of marriage made sense when it was well, for one, do you know why marriage was created in the first place?
So my idea is, at least I haven't really done the research, but I think if you don't have marriage, it is a little bit of a chaos. Think about it. Mm-hmm. Any guy can fuck any girl, right? You need to kind of create some sort of boundaries.
Sure.
And that boundary is usually created by hey, you do get a girl to fuck, only one girl, right?
Exclusivity.
Exactly, exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, think about it. If we go back to a tribal situation, you can go and you can fuck any girl. And she's fucking pregnant with your baby, and she doesn't even know because she was fucking around with 10 guys.
Yeah.
And now who's gonna raise the baby?
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And so, is he split? And you're actually dead on with it. You're dead on with it, and it goes into lineage. And so, do you know what the very first crime that was ever punished by death was? On humans, this is this is BC era tribal adultery. A woman cheating on the man, because when you adulterate something, you make it impure.
Right.
A man has his lineage, his property, his things.
Right.
She has adulterated that lineage with somebody else. And so that's what all marriage is about, is controlling that lineage from the man outward, right? Because that's what it starts as, right? It's the man's stuff, the man's house, the man puts his name on the woman, right? These are all ownership of property.
Correct.
And women are thought of as property, have been treated, and legally are property in America. So,
what do you mean legally are property?
That's the marriage. That's why a man puts his last name on slaves and on women. It's property. Women are property. That's what I'm This is what I'm saying. If you read the legal agreement of what's the marriage contract, it's actually the woman is property of the man. And then they have all the rights and all that other stuff. But this is the legal agreement. That's why she takes his name. That's why the kids all have his name. And it's all. And this is why men had to pay child support if they divorce somebody. Right. The women can't get a job until the 60s. They couldn't work. They couldn't get credit until the 70s. So if you as a man divorced a woman, she was destitute. There was nothing else. So you had to pay for her to continue to live, because you said we were going to be there until death do us part. That's the legal contract, and you are now ending that contract. So you have to essentially have a buyout. What's the buyout, right? Well, you do this until somebody else gets the wife and takes it and does all that.
That's crazy.
And that's it. That's the real history of it all, is lineage and control of property, control of stuff. Yeah, and so I look at that's what it is now. I'm I don't really want to own anybody like that. I don't want to do all this stuff.
Yeah, but I guess the reason why you would want to own someone in that way is they take care of you emotionally, physically. You always have someone, and sexually, of course, right? And then second, I think your point is the lineage point. I think it's a little bit more of a society aspect too. Society just respects people who have family or are raising family a little bit more than singles, right?
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh
if you go, even at work, I work in finance, and if you're taking some time off, or if you are leaving early, if you're doing that because you have to keep your kid from one place to another, it's fine. It's okay.
Of course.
And I was dude, why do I not get the same liberty? Just because I did not have kids, because I did not want to have kids, and I did not want to put my time. But that doesn't mean that I don't get the time off. You know what I mean? So,
for sure.
But society just respects.
Yeah.
If you're having a family, everyone is more considerate.
Yeah. So do you want to have a wife but no kids? Or are you going to have kids eventually?
I do want to have kids eventually, for sure. That is the idea.
Yeah.
my ex-girlfriend, we were like together for about 3 years. She was of the idea that she never wants to have kids.
I gotcha.
And when I heard that for the first time, like I've been born and raised in India, and that is like that concept is unheard of.
Oh,
like
for sure.
I just thought like this is exactly what you need to do. Like there's
Yeah,
no
what are you talking
choice,
about? Yeah.
right? Like this is what you do. Like you grow up, you
Yeah.
get married, and you pop out
Yeah,
kids.
you breathe, you eat, you make babies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's like I just really did not think that this is an option.
Yeah.
And when she said like I really started wondering, I was like, fuck, this is an option. And then I started getting into a rabbit hole because of course I really enjoyed her time and the emotional compatibility was great. So I wanted to better understand where she comes from.
Yeah.
So I started looking into documentaries of like why
Sure.
people choose not to have kids and
Yeah.
what's life without kids.
Yeah.
And there is a good argument for that whole life, like not having
Yeah,
kids.
child free. Yeah, you have for all the money, free time, energy, do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They did a survey
Uh-huh.
where they asked a lot of people what is their biggest worry in life, right? Most of the, I think, majority of the people said kids is what they worry about the most.
Yeah. Worry
So-
about the future of the kids or having.
Just like majority of the parents, the biggest worry that they have in their life is kids.
Yeah.
Something about kids, either like what they're gonna do and what's the future like, or their
Oh yeah.
whatever education, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just that yes, once you have kids, your life is dependent. You're always thinking about them. So
Oh yeah.
that's different. A lot of time. Okay, this is another thesis.
Yeah.
So our previous generation, they did not have these options
Oh no.
to
Yeah.
invest in themselves.
True.
Because all they were doing is they were just really trying to earn enough and just breed and kind of like make a family, right?
Oh yeah. Do the same things. The eat, sleep, make
Yeah,
food,
or
make
like
babies.
even like providing for shelter, food.
Yeah.
Like they were
Oh yeah.
fighting for basics.
Yes.
Now that we have all the basics,
Mhm.
now we have all the amenities, like everything in life, right? So
Mhm.
now you don't need to have kids. And
Yeah.
second, you can actually spend a lot more time on yourself, like what you said.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exercise, be healthy, go out, take sun, I don't know, like socialize, do all of that jazz. Then
Yeah.
you realize that hey, if you can really enjoy with yourself, and if you have good set of friends around you, good sense of community around you,
Yeah.
probably don't need kids. Like
Right.
they needed kids, or they did not put in so much energy in themselves. Like they did not work on themselves, so they couldn't
Yeah.
really hang out. Like you let these people just be by themselves, they would not be able to do that.
Right. No, there's a great point, in that a lot of times having a family, having a children, especially if you were farming, you're growing your food to live, right? You needed children to help with toe the field, help do all these things to provide food to survive, right? So now we don't have that. Was that Hiram's hierarchy of needs? You're familiar with that, right? And so right now our needs are met. We don't have this. So the question is, okay, do we need humans for anything other than socialization? Do we need to make babies for what, right? And so there's two really great conversations that I was reading about, articles that were talked about, because it's a big trend, especially in America, of people not wanting to have children.
Yeah.
And there was just this great meme that like encapsulated it exactly. It said, animals don't get depressed in the wild. They get depressed in captivity. Animals have no problem reproducing in the wild. They don't reproduce in captivity. So is this structure human, or are we, the human animal, trying to live in this artificial exploited structure where we're actually captive?
Captive to what though? Like captive
And this is
relationship?
no
Captive.
money. It's money. We're captive. We are wage slaves. We exist to produce money. 80% of the money that we create, we don't touch. We don't get to walk away from. You work in finance, right? You created an investment. This investment turned out and blew up all this capital, right? Increased the value of what something is invested in. But who did the labor that created that capital growth? Not the investor,
Yeah,
right? But the money goes to the investor, doesn't it?
correct. Right.
That's a system that's on exploited labor for 80% of people, for a majority of people in America. That's what we do. It's like you toil and then you get 2%, 5% of the labor you create, the wealth you create. And that's the captive system of where we are right now.
All right. If I would let's say switch it up,
Yeah.
right? If you go a little bit back when we don't have all these labor rights systems, no corporate because there's a corporate environment, you at least have an opportunity to make it big. There is a system. There are rules. Yes, sometimes those rules are fucked up. Sometimes those rules are not fair. But there is a way. Right now, this finance job, it allows me to make kind of money and allows me to. We're talking GoldCoast, OldTown, North. These are the best neighborhoods in the second city, the second largest city in the US. US is the largest, or whatever, like the best country in the world. So we're talking like best of the best things, right?
Right.
How am I able to do all of that? Because there's a system.
Yes, because these things have all been assigned a numerical value of what currency will get you those things. Never mind the fact that you didn't build a house in Gold Coast. You're not providing your own gas. You're not purifying your own water, right?
Yes.
You're not doing these things.
Correct.
But the job that you have, which is making more money for other people,
Right.
is of value enough that your value.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that could you farm food to feed yourself?
No, but
No.
would I want to? A little bit, yeah.
But so is the person making the food that you eat paid the same amount that you are? Because without them, you would die.
Yes, correct. Yes, so everyone gets paid
Not
for
equally,
the value that they're creating.
not for the value.
Sorry?
Not for the value of what they do or the value of what it is that they're creating.
I think the value creation is more to who you're catering to.
Yeah.
That is for sure. If you are helping someone, either you're helping someone who is not making that much money, then your value creation, of course, the ticket size or the price on that value creation or the service is going to be lower, but then you do it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's what you did when you did 4 jobs, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I found a way to break the rules. Right? Because that's the other part of it, is that if you look at corporations that are big corporations, big money corporations, billions and billions in revenue, there is violent criminal acts in their history.
For sure.
Chiquita Banana Corporation was Banana Corp of America. They got the federal government to send their military to South America to kill banana farmers so that Corporation of America could then grow bananas and sell bananas. And then they changed their name to Chiquita Banana so that you didn't know what they did. Coca-Cola used to hire assassin squads in Mexico to murder people that were striking for better pay. This is in every corporation. Every corporation. It's not a question. Like, that illegal act is where the money actually comes from. If corporations like ExxonMobil was forced to adequately dispose of all of the waste products of oil production, and if they were forced to pay all of their laborers a living wage with benefits, they wouldn't make profit. Profit is made from exploitation, period. Not a question. It's money that is not given to the people.
I hear you. And it seems like this is a little bit of a game theory question.
Okay.
Which is, if you all could be harmonious and you could all live happily.
Yeah.
But if there's one spoiled person in the room, and if their intention is like, hey, I want the maximum things and I want more for myself,
right? Then
yes, he wrongs someone, they get hurt, and they're like, dude, this is the way, and they start getting doing wrong, otherwise you get lost, right?
Right.
So now it seems like this is the system.
Yeah.
This is how they're going up. This is how they are making money. I think once you know that this is how the system works, what do you do with it? These are the games. This is the game. These are the rules, and you know that this is how other players are playing. Right. This is their strategy, and that's how they're winning. Yep. Either you play the game with a strategy and you win, right? Right. Or you stop playing the game.
Yes.
be a monk. I don't know, go somewhere, go in the woods, offline.
until a corporation owns those woods because they signed a piece of paper that says that now those are their woods and you have to get out of it because they're going to clear cut all the trees. So you got to get out of the forest that they purchased from somebody else, even though it was free land. But somebody else said, I'm now the owner of this land, even though they weren't a million years ago. It wasn't their land a million years ago, but it's theirs now because they got a piece of paper that they legally agreed to, right? A judge said, oh, this is fine. And then the American government, and this is the actual fact that nobody's acknowledging.
Right.
The government is a threat of violence that says, we're going to protect our borders. We'll fight for them.
Yeah.
So these are our borders. Everything inside this border is ours, including the people. We are resources.
Yeah.
We are tax-paying resources to the borders.
Yeah.
Right. And that's it. All these governments say these are ours, these are ours, these are ours. But guess what? This land has been here forever. We are all citizens of planet Earth, not borders for exploitation of resources. Because that's actually what it is. Look at what's happening, in America, but in other countries as well. All this corruption, these people that just enrich themselves off of the work and the labor and the control of the resources. The system that should actually be thriving for people is a no system. We are citizens of planet Earth. Why are we letting all these people create imaginary lines? They don't exist. And then they say, well, we're going to use violence to uphold our borders. And that's actually the extrapolation of why we're going to work, why we're paying taxes, why we're having to do these things, because it's illegal to live on the street. You can't just be outside without a house, without a job. Now it is illegal. So guess what? Once you're in prison for sleeping, trying to do nothing, well, they can force you to do slave labor because slavery is legal if you're in prison. That's the system that's underneath the finance stuff. That's the system that's underneath the corporate stuff that most average people don't actually look at and read beyond. How did we get here? What had to be done to get here? Look at the native indigenous people that were here. What was done to them to create America? America has violated every single treaty it created with indigenous people. It stole 60% of the land of Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why it did that? Do you know why we took California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico? Do you know why? The reason for that?
Why?
So it's because after Mexico was established, you're familiar with the Underground Railroad for slaves, right? Where they would go to the north, right? And they would get out of slavery. It also went to the south. It would go to Mexico. So in the 1800s, there was a food shortage in America, and Mexico was like, we have all this land. Yeah. We have a ton of land, but we need people to work it. We don't have people to work it. So all these slave owners said, we're going to send our slaves to go do the work. They're going to make the money. They're going to make food. We're going to make money off the slaves. It's going to be great. In the Constitution of the United States of Mexico, it says anyone who is considered a slave in their land is considered free upon setting foot in Mexico, and Mexico will protect you. And so they started sending slave catchers' bodies back in boxes to America because all these slaves that were sent over by the slave owners were now free. And all those slave owners started complaining to Uncle Sam, to American government, and said, hey, they're taking our slaves, they're freeing our slaves, they're costing us all this money. So America says, we're going to take that land, we're going to go to war with Mexico. We're just going to steal the land so that you can get your slaves back.
Wow.
That's America, greatest country in the world. That's America. It is the most violent nation that has ever existed. It just succeeds on exploitation. That's it. Look at cobalt. Look at all the mining that's occurring all around the world, right? To make all this money. Are these people getting paid well? Many of them just die laboring away. They're not paid adequately. Their children aren't given education. They're not given health care. They're not paid. They're exploited.
I completely hear you. And I do see your point. Yes, I do see that the only way they're able to make this greatest country alive is by doing a lot of things under the hood, under the table, which you would not want to be associated with. Mm-hmm. At the same time, travel international, I don't know, maybe you have already, but if you go to other countries which are not developed yet, or they are kind of underdeveloped or developing nations, right?
Yeah.
There are 10,000 problems that they are dealing with. right
for sure.
now, the drive that you're doing, the roads, the infrastructure that you have, the water that you're drinking, the air that you're like breathing, it's so much nicer, it's so much better, right?
Oh, for sure.
When you go back and you see that, yes, like in India, let's call it, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people here, at least people have civic sense over here that they're following the lane. You would just like, people could not follow the lane, everyone is up for themselves. That means everyone's trying to kind of like cross each other or one up each other. And no matter what public place you go to, people don't have like civic sense of like, hey, maintaining a boundary, being normal. And I'm just giving you very small examples.
Sure.
But it all happens at very large scale too. Like people, at least 20 years ago or something, people were just getting murdered left, right, and center if they're making too much money or if they're not trying to have like deal with someone that I want to crack a deal with. So there were a lot of things that still happen in these developing nations.
Yeah.
US kind of like creates a border for us or like boundary for us.
Right.
And that within that boundary, it's nice and safe and everything is nice. But yes, someone has to do the dirty job because I feel this is the world, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say that, oh, like government is doing all these wrong things and they're doing, I don't know, attack and violent things. Dude, once you step out, if let's say if the borders are not strong, any country can come and violate. Like, think about, they're not trying to give nuclear weapons to Iran, right?
Right.
Why? The moment Iran has a nuclear weapon, dude, they can fucking like put a like they can blast any side of the country or any side of the world, right? Having a good strong defense, and you need to kind of like do some dirty work to safeguard your own interest. Yeah, that is the name of the game. Like, I know it, and it's not fun and it's not smart. Like, it is not good for sure. And it doesn't sound good to be associated with something like that. But someone has to do the dirty job because the world out there is not fun.
Yeah, all of that is what's called propaganda. All of that is fear mongering. That they say, hey, if Iran has a nuke, they're going to nuke everybody. Yeah, we've got nukes. We're not going to nuke anybody. We already nuked a couple of people, but we're not going to nuke anybody else. Yes. We just want everybody to know that we can nuke them if we want. Yeah, and we can't let anybody else have that power but us. Right. Never mind the fact that America, again, has violated all of its peace treaties. Remember, it just set up another with a nuclear deal with Iran. Yeah. They didn't violate it. They did great, the one that Obama created. They got torn up by Trump. And now Trump went and created a memorandum of understanding, right? We're going to not violate that. You guys get to have all this stuff outside. And then America violated it. And Israel violated it. And so what's the point? How can we even trust America? These guys that are the good guys that aren't so going to use their nukes, that they say they're not going to nuke anybody, even though they've got all these nukes, they're not going to do it. They violate everything else they say that they're going to do. Every single treaty they ever had, they violate. But this one, they're not going to. They swear. They swear. It's just war. It's just war for resources, for oil. That's it. Why did we go to Afghanistan in 2003? Why? Right? For oil. So what are we doing here in Iran? What does Iran control? Oil. So what are we actually doing? It's not. And I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to believe the news propaganda. Yeah. Iran doesn't. They said it several times. We're not arming civilians. But you know who is? America. America is bombing civilians right now in Iran. Not military outposts. Not functionings and things that stop the oil production or stop war. Right. They're bombing civilians. Tiny little boats. Tiny little houses that people live in. That's what they're bombing, because that's America. So it does the dirty work have to be done, or does the dirty work of maybe finding a way for every human on planet Earth to just be equal? Maybe we should do that dirty work instead of killing each other. We probably do that.
It all started on a good note. Like the Constitution that we have in America, right? Like it all started on like very much equal rights and whatnot, and liberty to exercise your own thing. Yeah. That's why we have so many religions that formed in the US, right? Sure,
yeah. Never mind that those guys that wrote that freedom for every man had slaves. Never mind that the American Constitution said that women couldn't vote, and that only white land-owning married men could vote. Wow. This is the actual Constitution. This America was white. Yes, white. So you would never be able to be allowed to vote in the America that the founding fathers created. This is what I'm saying. You can't build a solid house on a rotten foundation. And that's the foundation. Slavery, white, Christian, married men. That's it. That's America. That's who the founding fathers were. So we can start over. We can start over anytime. Give the land back to the indigenous people. Find something like, it's fine. Again, I'm Mexican. I'm 100% Mexican. So like the border, the Mexican border, that's an imaginary line. I'm native. I'm indigenous to North America.
Right.
But a bunch of white people from Europe are over here telling me I'm an immigrant. But my people have been here for 150,000 years.
I hear you. Like, to your point, like, we're all like, from planet Earth, right? So, like, why do I need this whole...
Right? What's all this going? Like, yeah.
I go through this immigration bullshit. I can't go home. It's been 2 years. I can't go home just because I need a stupid stamp. And I was like, dude, like put everything aside. Like, this is the most basic human thing to do. Like, I'm doing everything good for society.
Yes.
I'm working hard. I'm paying my taxes. I just want to see my family.
And you can't because the color of your skin and where you were born.
Correct.
Exactly. That's the problem, man. You're a person just like me. This was great chatting, man. This was so fun.
Exactly. Yeah. I did not expect that. But thank you so much, man.
Yeah, this is great. We'll be neighbors soon enough.
Yeah,
you're sure. In Chicago. All right.
All right. Have a great day.
Have a good flight. Thank you too. All right. Take care.